Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
A quarter of Sydney's suburbs are multi-million-dollar markets, but there's still room for savvy buyers and investors. Sydney's seemingly pandemic-proof property market has surpassed yet another incredible milestone. More than a quarter of its suburbs now have a median house price of $2 million Australian dollars, $1.44 million US dollars, or above, according to data from domain.com.au. The harbour city's real estate prices have experienced extraordinary growth since the onset of the pandemic. Over the 2021 calendar year alone, property prices rose 29.6%, according to data from CoreLogic, adding nearly $1,000 Australian dollars each day to the value of the average home. And although Australian data analysts are now indicating that housing growth is losing momentum, a ramping up of rental demand across Sydney is pointing to a perfect property storm for would-be home buyers and investors looking to get in under the $2 million Australian dollars threshold. Experts suggest turning to the city's fringe areas and beachside suburbs to find the next hotspots for price gains. Potential buyers in these areas shouldn't expect to see immediate price growth, however. Of Australia's 8 capital cities, Sydney's growth rate showed the most significant slowdown in CoreLogic's April Hedonic Home Index. Dwelling values, including both apartments and houses, fell from a peak of 9.3% in the 3 months to May 2021, to a subtle 0.3% change in the first quarter of 2022. The sharpest slowdown has been in Sydney, where housing prices are the most unaffordable. Advertised supply is trending higher and sales activity is down over the year, said CoreLogic's research director, Tim Lawless. Rental demand holds steady while the rapid pace of price growth is evidently cooling. There are still plenty of indicators that Sydney's home values will not head south in a hurry. Cameron Kusher, Director of Economic Research at realestate.com's research arm PropTrack and the author of the PropTrack Rental Report, said a reduction of rental stock combined with skyrocketing activity among tenants was already keeping rental prices buoyant. Therefore, investors are sure to follow. While the annual growth in rents in Sydney and Melbourne remains slow compared to other parts of the country, these cities are starting to see shortages and prices are beginning to rise. Given lockdowns have ended, borders have reopened and migration is returning, he said. According to the PropTrack Rental Report's demand per listing metric, which measures how many would-be tenants are viewing properties on realestate.com.au, Sydney had seen the steepest year-on-year increase, up 52.2%. Where to find sub-$2 million property PropTrack analysts have highlighted which Sydney suburbs are currently home to medians just under the $2 million Australian dollars price point. Given the slow but steady local market, coupled with pent-up demand for some of Sydney's lifestyle neighbourhoods, some listed locations could just creep over the multi-million median in the short to mid-term future. As of March 1, there were 60 suburbs in the Greater Sydney region with a median house value above $1.75 million Australian dollars. All experienced significant annual price growth, however some have had little to no, or negative, movement in the past quarter. Every suburb had a minimum of 100 homes sell during the period. Pennant Hills $1.991 million 21% 2% East Kurrajong $1.986 million 39% 13% Dulwich Hill $1.981 million 11% -1% Petersham $1.980 million 12% 1% Oatlands $1.976 million 14% 3% Denistone $1.973 million 4% 1% Redfern $1.970 million 25% 0% Ashbury $1.961 million 12% 3% Leichhardt $1.958 million 20% 0% Lewisham $1.945 million 22% 4% Source PropTrack While certain Sydney suburbs are on the brink of a $2 million Australian dollars median, Mr. Kusher warned potential buyers should proceed with caution and not necessarily assume immediate price growth. The suburbs listed are those closest to breaching the $2 million Australian dollars median value mark. While they are currently close, it isn't a given that we will imminently see them reach the $2 million Australian dollars mark given the broader housing market slowdown in Sydney, as highlighted by a number of factors, including Sydney recording value falls over the past quarter, and the prospect of higher interest rates shortly, he said. More, with working from home prevalent across Australia, two are better than one when it comes to home offices house hunting under $2 million Australian dollars mark. Kadri, of Buy East Buyers Agency, said that while a $2 million Australian dollars price point wouldn't get a purchaser into a prestige property in most of Sydney, there were still suburbs with medians under that amount which offered value for investors. With Sydney prices having had such strong growth over the past 2 years, we're looking for areas on the outskirts to find the next hotspot for capital growth, he said. New South Wales Central Coast, a semi-urban region north of Sydney that has become popular with commuters, has potential according to Mr. Kadri. In suburbs like Umina, on the Central Coast, we're seeing average sale prices still below the